Good morning, all. Welcome back to Rugby Chat. A little bit later today because had a few errands to run. And welcome back, Mike. How are you? Missed you last couple of weeks.
Yeah, good. How you getting on, mate?
Oh, well, yeah. Lions tour's finished. NPC has started. Pre-season in Heartland has started. It's all on. And, yeah, pretty much all the club rugby's done and dusted for the year.
Yep. No, that's pretty much correct. We're all moving into Heartland pre-season fixtures now. The Hammers have got their first one this weekend, so I'm really fizzed up for it.
Oh, who we got this weekend?
We're playing Ellesmere senior team. Well, all three rep teams, the Mid-Canterbury Girls, the Mid-Canterbury Development, and the Mid-Canterbury Hammers are all playing at Dartford Rugby Club this Saturday. They're all playing Ellesmere, the respective Ellesmere teams. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, all I can say is go the mighty Eels. Ellesmere Rugby Union. You look at what they've got, hey? They've got their senior team, they've got their Colts team, they've got their under-20s team, they've named an under-18 team, an under-16 team. Why are they not a Heartland Union? Yeah,
no, to be fair, the clubs that are in their catchment, the players that they've named within their squads, it's actually pretty good, and it's a fair reflection of the of their competition. They've obviously picked the best players, from Prebbleton, Waihora, Darfield, West Melbourne, Lincoln, and even though they only play a few games a year, it's good for those guys to go on from club level and represent their sub-union representative level. But yeah, that's a question that's going to linger for a long time, I think.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they did play Canterbury Pacifica last weekend, and unfortunately, they got thumped 50 points to 10. But it was their first run around. I'm sure they'll give the Hammers a run for their money.
So hopefully, our boys can come out and put 50 on them as well. Be good.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do is we'll have a look at the results going through the show. And if you are watching, throw in your comments and all that in the comments below. But we've got we've been doing it for a while now, and we've been watching the Lions. What was your thought on this Lions tour to Australia?
I thought Andy Farrell summed it up pretty good. It's been an experience for them, and they've loved every minute of it. The crowd sizes have been pretty good. You've got the stats on the crowd sizes. The games have been pretty good. Obviously, the Lions won the series, but the Aussies got one back on them on the weekend. There's been a couple of controversial points of it, but I think the players have enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, I did see it. Sheehan got 4 games or something, but it'll be reduced to 3 or something if he goes back to tackle school. I tell you, it's just, he was cited after the game because nothing happened, but that was a throwback to the week before because no one got cited, and then all of a sudden someone gets cited. But he literally came out and said, I did nothing wrong. So the citing commissioner went, well, we believe you did, so you get 4 game suspension. You must go back to school. These guys don't need to go to school. They're playing for the bloody Lions, for God's sakes. Let's be open and honest about it. This going back to tackle, it's a bit like cricket, They must go to bowling school. Well, hang on. You've done your 10, 15 years to become an international cricketer. You should know how to bowl a ball, And this rubbish about going back to do a tackle intervention course, it's like, at the end of the day, it's rugby, people. It's rugby. But, so 200,000 odd went to the test matches over the 3 games. So what's that? How many donuts were probably given out there? 200,000. So they got 22,000 paid fans. That's just me having a crack at the Aussies. But it was interesting, some of these numbers. The Aussies led all the way, so they'll be happy about that heading into the Rugby Championship. But that was an interesting one. The points scored 68 to 67 over the 3 test matches. So Aussies still lost, but they can put their head up with that sort of 3-test series scoreline.
Yeah, no, they can be proud of that last effort. I think Joe Schmidt was a bit down in the dumps after the second effort, but he's come out and said that he's proud of the boys, and they've managed to score the win in the last test. So onwards and upwards for them. I think his tenure is just about over. Les Kiss is about to take over there, so it'll be interesting to see what Les can bring to the squad.
Yeah, and 19 tries scored in the series, so that's 3 games, 2-3 tries per game. So not a lot of tries scored in this day and age of tries, because, I mean, if we look at the NPC, I know it's a different level, but, I mean, we had like 20 tries in the first 2 games, so they needed 3 test matches to get that. But the Aussies, they'll be happy. They won the halves 4-2 and stuff like that. But overall, the what do you call them? The Aussies will be happy. They'll be moving forward. And, no more Nick White, which is okay. I never really liked Nick White. But, hey, that's whatever. But you would have just seen there pop up on the screen. Breaking news just in the last few minutes. George Bridge from Canterbury is going to be a Western Force player in 2026, 2027. That came out of under the radar, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a bolt from the blue. It's going to be an exciting thing for him to move on to, obviously a new club and see what he can bring to the Western Force.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, I'm not too sure exactly. I haven't looked at where he's been playing. I'm guessing it's been Japan or somewhere like that. But, I think that's a huge signing for the Western Force moving forward. So I'll just come back to us here now. So, and then what we will do is we'll get into the NPC. But I'll just have to open my phone here because, as I said, running a bit late this morning. And if we have a look at some of these results over the weekend in the preseason for all the guys, hang on, I suppose I'm in the wrong bloody folder here now, and I bet you I am. Let's have a look and see if I sent them to you so I can easily read it. What you call it? The Nadi Pro East Coast. Last year they played Central Hawke's Bay and got a late penalty to win that game. I think it was 24-22. But they played Central Hawke's Bay again in Napier over the weekend. Big win for them there, 66-26. Our good friend Kahu would be happy with that performance.
No, that's going to stand them in good stead moving forward to Heartland, and it's going to give the boys some game time. Yeah,
I know. And then, of course, Wanganui, they had a friendly against the Hawke's Bay Saracens. That ended up in a 31-all draw, which is quite impressive because Hawke's Bay can be quite strong there. And Otago, North Otago, they took on Otago Country and got I think it was 40 points to 27 victory there. So they'll be quite happy with that moving forward. What else did we have there? Oops. Hang on, I'll just get down to it. The Wairarapa Bush, they played Wellington Maori in the weekend. They got up a big win there, 45-24. They've got Hawke's Bay Maori this weekend as part of their warm-up to the Heartland season, which is only around the corner. Also on the East Coast, we had the Barry Cup on Sunday, and the defending champions, they've had it for about 3 years now, the Barry Cup, took on Ruatoria Sub-Union. And, for the first time, the Barry Cup is on the move because Ruatoria got up by 21 points to 10. So even though most of the guys were playing in that Hawke's Bay game, there was still a few. They turned out on Sunday and had another game. So I'm sure, again, Kahu will be happy with that performance and no injuries to say off.
Yeah, no, there would have been a big party in Ruatoria that week, last weekend for sure.
Well, I did see one quote on Facebook, and the guy went, I just told the old man we won, and he went, "What the F? You won?" Yeah, I couldn't believe it, because Barry Cup is an awesome competition there up on the coast with Wairoa and all the sub-unions in the East Coast and Poverty Bay. We just mentioned there before about Ellesmere. They went, their first hit out, they went down by 50 points to 10. Harlequins, though, inflicted some pain on Thames Valley, 63 points to 14. 60 odd points or 90 odd points, 100 points almost in the Ranfurly Shield. Is there concerning noises, you think, coming out of Thames Valley this week?
Yeah, it's not an ideal start to their pre-season campaign, is it? Obviously leading into Heartland. Yeah, hopefully head coaches Joe Murray and David Harrison can sort that out, because obviously, I'm not sure if I play this weekend, but they've got us coming into the first round, and I can tell you for a fact that the Hammers are full of confidence, and we're going back up there because we've got a score to settle, and they better be ready.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of changes in that Thames Valley team, and they've brought in some guys, but the way sitting from the sidelines now, as I do with Thames, to me, it's not clicking. There's just something not clicking there.
Yeah, no, I can't really comment on that, but yeah, they need to. Oh, I don't know, yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of there's a lot of debutants in the squad, and it takes time to bring a team together and get ready for a campaign like the Heartland. And maybe there is something missing, maybe there is something not clicking, but I'm sure they'll sort it out.
Yeah. So as I said, there's plenty on all over the place. We've got the Hurricanes under 20s on this weekend as well, with Poverty Bay, Wanganui, Wairarapa Bush, and East Coast, I think it is. I can't remember. Oh, no, it's not East Coast, because they're not part of the Hurricanes anymore. But, Horowhenua is who I'm thinking of. So the Wanganui Wairarapa Barbarians, they had a game as well. So they're really building up good. And just a quick shout out, I'm not too sure of the player's name, but a Wairarapa player got, unfortunately, broke his leg against Northern Wanganui in the weekend. So our thoughts go out to him for a speedy recovery. It's not a good injury to get at the start of a rep season. So he's pretty much gone now. But talking about rep seasons, we might as well just jump straight into it, eh? Auckland. Wasn't that beautiful to hear the Sky commentators starting to backtrack on all their wonderful comments about how wonderful Auckland was with 20 minutes to go, and you could almost feel them shrinking.
Yeah, no, that was the game of the round. That was the great game of rugby. Obviously, Waikato come back and scored 20 points in 20 minutes. And I think Ross Filippo can be very proud of that effort.
Oh, totally. And, Lima Sompawanga from Petone, Lower Hutt boy, playing, what was it? He's on $1 contract and only gets paid for the days he plays. So, hey, good on him, give him back. But then, you do look at that. He showed that he's still got it. Aaron Cruden showed he's still got it.
Yep. But
you've got to ask, where are the younger guys coming through on this NPC squad?
Not yet.
I know. I mean, sure, these guys can still play and carry on and, all the best to them and, have their Sky contracts and all this other stuff. But, it is interesting, especially when we look at all these other teams that are floating around. Huge win to the Mooloos there, and it'll be interesting to see how they progress forward. This is round one, of course. But then on Saturday, this was a bit of an upset, or was it? Manawatu on Friday night did the business over Harbour, 38-25. And the more I look at it, this Manawatu team, they've recruited really well over the summer period.
Yeah, they have. I I think I picked Harbour, but I'm not surprised at the result. The turbo just went into overdrive, and North Harbour just didn't have any answer for them, really.
No, I mean Man number 2 were pretty much in control in the entire game. And yes, last week I said a draw, so I was really pissed off. It was 1 point, and you did pick Waikato. And on this one, I think I went Man number 2. So I think we're 1-1 here now on what we said last week. But of course, we both came a cropper in this game on Saturday afternoon at Porirua Park. I tell you what, that guy that came on, and his name now escapes me, for Wellington in replace of Brad Shields, who went off for an HIA. Sure, he dropped a couple of balls, but that young fella they had there, he had, I thought, a bloody good debut for the Lions.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah, this game was, I was expecting Wellington to get up because I'm not a Canterbury supporter, but, Canterbury played well, to be fair.
And they blew 3 tries as well, Canterbury.
Yeah.
You know, so that was the thing. And also, it was at Porirua Park. I did see some people saying, you should put the camera on the other side of the ground to show the crowd. But maybe it was fine where it was, because I did see an image from the other side of the ground, and I think there were more people on the other side of the ground. The nice stadium, but it was half empty. Yeah. So, but hey, the good thing was it was a lovely day, and it is a great place to play rugby. I've actually played on that field. But the thing is, it's sort of, it's in suburbia, literally. It's hard ground to get to. And, again, I'll just say, why did we have a stadium built to replace Athletic Park if we're not going to be playing in Wellington? So, and now the stadium just sits empty for, I don't know, rock concerts and motorbikes. It blows my brain. But yeah, my poor old mighty Wellington Lions, they'll bounce back. So don't rule them out yet. Then we had the Battle of the South. They were hoping for 10,000 people there. They got 8,815. Not that I was counting. And a lot closer than the pre-season game, where it was like 45-30 or something. Otago did the business there. And Leo game.
Yeah, no, he did. He had a blinder. And, I'm happy that Otago got up on Stag Day in Southland. It was obviously a big day for Southland rugby. They were pumping the hell out of it on social media. Come along, bring your friends and family. And as you said, they got over 8,000 people in the rugby park, which is great for the region. And, it's just a pity they couldn't pull the win off.
Yeah, I know. So I did go Otago here, so I think I might have pulled one back on you. And then we had the Ranfurly Shield, first major defence of the season between the Bulls and the Taniwha up there. And I was expecting a major blowout here, but a 20-point win to Taranaki over a determined Northland side.
Yeah, it's actually probably a fair scoreboard reflection of the game. I think Neil Barnes going to be really happy with that. I thought it might have been a bigger scoreline. I was actually at the pub watching it with a couple of mates, and every time I looked up, the score hadn't changed much. And I was like, here we go. But yeah, no, it's obviously Taranaki lock it away for another week. I think they got Waikato coming up, and I can't think who the other one is. Waikato, but when they play Waikato, that's going to be a good game.
It will be a good game. And then, of course, Bay of Plenty. Was this the upset of the round? I mean, Tasman went up there with a very vaunted squad of All Blacks and amazing players. And, well, they were literally taught a lesson by the Steamers.
Yeah, I think I picked Bay of Plenty in this round just to keep Marcus happy with it. But, the Tasman were blown out of the park, and I think I made a comment on social media that they played like a pack of kindy because that wasn't the Tasman side that we've seen in previous years, and they need to regroup and do better.
Yeah, no, I went Bay of Plenty too because, well, I do work for them, so I wasn't going to go back against them. But I was surprised that I thought the scoreline would have been a lot closer than that. And of course, the round ended in the Hawke's Bay and counties. I think they're going to be struggling this year. That was a massive win by Hawke's Bay.
Hawke's Bay were a very determined side on Saturday, and they just ran rings around counties. Counties didn't really look like they wanted to be there, to be fair.
No, there was one try there, and I saw, everyone goes, "Oh, Hoskins Tutu." He was just like standing there looking. Why wasn't he in it? I just look at it and go, well, he's just there to finish off his contract and overseas, So, oopsie daisy, we've got the All Black squad here. I thought I had the table in front of us, but I don't have the table in front of us. Or did I have the table in front of us? Let's just have a quick look. No, I forgot the table, but I can bring up the table. So what we'll do is we'll come back to the All Blacks in a moment, and we'll go to no, we won't. I will go to my phone because it'll be quicker and easier for me to say this. So NPC tables. So top four is Hawke's Bay, Bay of Plenty, Canterbury, and Manawatu. So will they? What's the word I'm looking for? What's the chances of any of them being in the top four at the end of the season?
Well, I think at least two of them can be there. Maybe three.
Yeah, because then we've got Waikato, Taranaki, and Otago and Auckland. I mean, there's no point really even looking at the first round table because, it will change next week again. And then at the bottom, you've got Southland, North Harbour, Wellington, Northland, Tasman, and counties. So Tasman sitting there in 13th place with a minus 30 already going into their first round. It'll be interesting. So what we can do then is have a quick look and see who's playing who this week. And of course, it kicks off Battle of New Zealand, as they're calling it. Battle for the Middle Land. We've got Northland playing Southland down up there in Whangarei. Who do you think comes into this game after last weekend with more confidence?
The Stags.
Yeah. I think they will, but I mean, it is the largest travel in the country, north to south, Invercargill to Whangarei. Okay. Well, I'm going to go Southland.
I'm going to go Southland, and hopefully they have a good travel schedule and they can get one direct flight up there would be ideal.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe they can. Half the time now you just don't know how they get there, especially in Heartland, But no. Okay, so we'll both go for Southland there. And then on Saturday, we've got all the big games on. You've got to question timings sometimes, don't you? So at 2:00, we've got North Harbour taking on Taranaki. At 2:00, 2:05, we've got Waikato taking on Wellington. So North Harbour taking on Taranaki. This looks like another walk in the park for Taranaki up there at North Harbour.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Taranaki with this one. It's going to be interesting. You've just said the timings of these games. What are they going to do when Heartland kicks in? They're going to have more games on and, televise this or televise that or stream that, you know what I mean?
I'll get to that in a minute because it's just annoyed me the times of Heartland this year. So I will get to that in a moment or three. But yeah, I'll go Taranaki. So we're both on the same page at the moment. But then we get to Waikato taking on Wellington at the same time. I know they're not having storm weeks anymore, but really, they could have had one of these games on Sunday, could they not?
Yep, definitely. I'm going to pick Waikato.
Okay, well, there we go. We've broken the deadlock. I'm definitely going Wellington. There's no way I will ever back against Wellington unless the wheels really fall off. But they do have to look at things like Garden Bishop, Julian Savia. They had good games, but unfortunately, we've got 20 clubs here in Wellington, and we can't find a first five because, to me, Garden Bishop was far too slow. He just literally 2 tries from Canterbury. It's because he just wasn't fast enough to catch the guy.
Yep. No, he didn't really have a good game, did he?
No, he had a shocker. But hopefully he'll pull his finger out and do it against the Mooloos on Saturday afternoon. Then we've got Tasman hosting Manawatu there at Nelson and Trafalgar Park. Now, Buller meant to be going up to Nelson this weekend to play a Tasman under-19 side. But the good oil is they're wondering whether they'll get there because the weather is not meant to be any good, and they might not have a ground to play on, believe it or not. So with Tasman hosting Manawatu, with the likelihood of a bit of precipitation, as they say, which way would you lean there?
Manawatu.
Wow. And your thoughts on, because I thought you were just going to say Tasman, so I'll say Tasman going against the Hurricane team. But I just think that they will be doing a lot of soul searching after last weekend against Bay of Plenty. And as they say, a wounded animal can be quite dangerous.
Yeah, well, Tasman need to show me that they're going to be worthy of being picked before I start picking them.
Okay. Well, I think that they will really look at where they were and go, well, we should never have been thumped by the Steamers like that. So that will be
sorry, just going back to that pre-season Buller versus Tasman under-19, where is the weather supposed to be dodgy? Is it supposed to be dodgy up in Nelson, is it? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
I thought they might have gone to Murchison or something like that, but I suppose we all just have to sit and wait and see what happens. You got to feel for the people of the Nelson region at the moment getting dumped with all the rain, because I tell you what, the weather's been lovely here in Wellington.
Yeah. Did they not consider moving it down to Westport?
I have no idea. It was just a passing conversation yesterday. So, and then also, I know we're talking about NPC. Another result that we have to shout out to is Jared Mitchell's West Coast team in a pre-season against Buller in the weekend. Did get up by 68 points to 7 over Buller, who had a few injuries. But hey, the whole game was a kick and giggle. Rolling substitutions and all that. So it wasn't a first-class match. But, Buller really need to sort of have a look at where they're at. And I think they will come right because, they did put in some good performances last year in Heartland. So I'm not discounting them as yet. Then we've got Canterbury playing Auckland, 7 o'clock down there at Christchurch. I'm going to go Canterbury here.
Auckland.
Really?
Well, I'm not a Canterbury supporter, Rabs. You should know this one now.
Okay, I'll leave it to you then. And then, of course, we do have a couple of games on Sunday. So we've got Counties hosting Bay of Plenty up there at Pukekohe. You just have to say Bay of Plenty all day, every day here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, they should get up, hopefully. Yeah,
and then under the roof, 4:30, we've got Otago taking on Hawke's Bay. This is an interesting one. I think we are having Golden Point this year. They always have good games, these two.
I'm gonna pick Otago, but it wouldn't surprise me if Hawke's Bay tipped them up.
Okay, so if you're going to Otago, I would have, but just to make life interesting for our tips, I'll go Hawke's Bay to get up there in that match. So I don't think we had anything else there. I know, but what I can do is bring up maybe the table. Hang on, where are we? Standings fixtures, results, team stats. No, okay, I can't see that there at all. So, but what I will do is, only because I've got it here in front of me on the computer, is if I go to the fixtures and results, because we were mentioning it on the what do you call it? About the times. Look at the times here, round 1 on Saturday in a fortnight. I mean, this is just literally because you were mentioning about the times and stuff. So, kick off 1 o'clock, Thames playing Mid Canterbury. 1:30, Wairarapa Bush taking on South Canterbury. 1:30, Wanganui taking on North Otago. 2:05, Horowhenua taking on Bulla. 2:30, Poverty Bay taking on East Coast. And 2:30, West Coast taking on King Country. One thing I loved about Heartland was all the games used to kick off at 2:30. And there is one round where Wairarapa played King Country, and it's on at 5:30. All I have to say is, okay, it's good that they're spreading them out, but the beautiful thing is there are going to be live games on TV, and I believe on free to air, but we won't know until the games are actually coming up. Now, if you look at how the NPC is running, like the 2 o'clock games and all that, I wouldn't be surprised to see, for example, we see the Thames Valley Mid Canterbury game being the live game from Waihi. Wairarapa, South Canterbury, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one to see which games they do pick live every week.
Yeah, well, obviously there's going to be, I think, I've been talking to someone, there's going to be 2 games televised out of Heartland, but hopefully some of these unions start live streaming some of them, because, yeah, it just blows my mind, like these are our up-and-coming NPC players, and to not have games televised or live stream is just bullshit.
Yeah. Well, most of them do, and if they are, we will be bringing them here on our Heartland page, which we've done in the past. We just can't show any Sky games that are being shown, but we can share the ones that aren't being shown on Sky. I do know that, because if they're through the union, then we're okay. But then on top of that, Sky TV now own TV3, so they've got like 3 new free-to-air channels. Sky Open, Prime, Bravo, Eden, or whatever it's called. So they've got plenty of channels there to throw these games on live. So it will be interesting moving forward to see how those all go. So I'll just quickly close that thing off because we don't need that open anymore. Because the thing is, it has been named in yesterday, and that's the All Blacks, and it is a good segue because we do have Brodie McAllister out of North Canterbury. We've got who else have we got there? That was an ex Heartland guy. Well, no one there, but Leroy Carter. He's out of the Waikato, but I'm sure he's actually played for Thames Valley in the past. But yeah, what do you think of the squad that Razor had to come up with?
Yeah, it's not a bad squad, actually. It's good to see Simon Parker get a go. He deserves a shot, and that's pretty much what Razor said. He's a man of few words, and he lets his actions on the park do the talking. But I think he's going to fit in really well.
Oh, I think he will, and I mean, if we have a look at these guys, Kyle Preston, I'm sure there's a very happy father there, and John Preston, ex-All Black, his boy, with the possible call up there. Why they brought in Finlay Christie, I'll never know. But because, you got Kyle Preston there, you got Cortez Ratama out of King Country. That's who I was thinking of before. But, Kyle Preston, he had a pretty good game for Wellington in the weekend. But, of course, he's been picked on his Crusaders performance. So, congratulations to Kyle. Josh Lord, well, he's been called up, but he's always in and out, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's always there and thereabouts. I think he's one. He's a player that they can always rely on to obviously for injury cover or whatever else, whatever other reason.
And then, of course, you're just mentioning Simon Parker. He's done the hard yards here for the Taniwha. He's the only one that's actually pretty much new in the starting squad. He's not there as an injury cover per se, but congratulations to him. And then, of course, as I said, Leroy Carter, he's been making every post a winner since coming off his Sevens contract and signing up with the Steamers. He actually has some speed, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, no, he's got gas to burn, and hopefully he gets a chance to show what he's got.
Yeah. And another Steamer there making the pack there, Tavito Mafileo. It is a interesting squad, as they say, moving forward. Because if I just quickly run through what we have got coming up here, and I'll just quickly get to that so we can blow it up and have a look. So it all kicks off in a couple of weeks. ABs are going to Argentina this week, apparently. So they're going to get a week acclimatizing to the rigors of Argentina. Plenty of grilled steak happening, I bet you, barbecue steak. What do you think of that first round? Australia, sure, going to South Africa with a lot of confidence, but the South Africans are going to eat them up, aren't they?
Oh, look, gloves are off now. We're straight into it. There's two exciting matches here, and it's going to be a battle of obviously tactics and forward packs and whatever else. But yeah, no, it's shaping up to be a humdinger.
Oh, it certainly is, and especially the way Argentina have been playing as well. Because round two, rinse and repeat, as they say. So by then, if the games are close in round one, well, I'm more looking forward to round two because the Aussies have spent another week in South Africa. New Zealand spend another week in Argentina, and you'll have that sort of culture thing happening on tour. Everyone will, be used to everyone farting in their rooms. But I think this is the round, I think, that will decide if New Zealand and South Africa, for example, are going to be fighting it out for the series here in New Zealand.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much carbon copy of round one, isn't it? And it's going to be interesting by the time they get to round two. Obviously, they're going to have to manage their injured players. Obviously, the All Blacks have got a lot of injured players at the moment, so they're going to have to manage them and manage any other injuries that crop up. But hopefully, the All Blacks come through unscathed, because by the time they get to South Africa, well, that's a different story.
Yeah. And then, of course, round 3 and 4, carbon copy again. The way the draw has been loaded up this time around. And then, of course, then we have the final round where it's, double headers again. But the only difference there is we play Australia here at Eden Park and then play round 6 over there in Perth, I believe it is, Optus Stadium in Perth. And then, of course, South Africa and Argentina, then Africa have to go to London. Yes, you heard it right. The last game of the tournament is Argentina playing South Africa at Twickenham Stadium. They've got aliens there, but to me, it's Twickenham. It will always be Twickenham. An interesting move forward with those, what do you call them? Picks. But what else have we got to chat about? Games this weekend. You've already said Mid Canterbury are playing Ellesmere. Our good friends up there East Coast, they're getting all together to have a bit of fun in Uawa at Tolaga Bay with East Coast taking on Eastern Bay of Plenty, which is actually quite a good game sometimes. And there's been some huge rugby coming out of Eastern Bay this year. been following that very closely because there's a lot of East Coasters playing club rugby there. And, of course, now East Coast is part of the Chiefs, which is part of Bay of Plenty, so they're all cousins now. And, of course, Hamatarangi, the ladies team, they have a crack as well. So keep an eye out for those games coming up. Going click, click. But I suppose the important question is, and I'll just put that there. Actually, what I'll do is I'll hide that for a second. I'll grab this and I'll put this into the comments as well, people. But we do have our tipping comp. And guess what? It's actually going quite nicely at the moment. The numbers are building. It's free to join. I'm just stuck it in our comments below. We've got the entire season all ready to have a tipping comp. I mean, we have NPC, we have Super Rugby. No one actually tries what do you call them? Heartland. So I thought, well, let's have a crack. We had a good competition with the Wellington Club Rugby and West Coast Buller tipping comp. So we've created a Heartland tipping comp. Don't know if there's any prizes yet. If someone wants to donate prizes, drop us a line. We will definitely, pass on. And if you want to become a sponsor of our tipping comp, what are you wearing? R80. They like Heartland Rugby. Maybe they would like to have a crack and give away some gear. But, so link is in the comments. Click it, freebie. You don't have to use your real name. We'll be in touch if you win. And you just literally pick who you think is going to win, margin for bonus points, and 2 wild cards in the 8 rounds, so you can double all the points you get in 1 round. So a bit of fun, bit of a giggle, and we'll bring you updates as we move forward throughout the competition. Have you joined it yet, Mike?
No, I haven't. I haven't even looked at it. I must get my A into G and have a look at it.
Well, you've still got a couple of weeks to join. So as I said, there's about 30-odd, 40-odd people in it already. So, jump on in there. Any other gossip from around the world? Major League Rugby. Yes. What's happening to American rugby? San Diego and Rugby LA have merged, and they are now going to become California Legion. And then I thought, wow, that's interesting. Has Ma'amonu sold his shares in San Diego because he's a part owner? And then literally, bolt out of the blue, New Orleans released a statement less than 24 hours later saying they aren't going to participate next year. Is it time for USA Rugby to go back to their national club competition with teams like Kansas City Blues, Belmont Shore, Seattle, and all these other famous clubs that Old Boys, Life University, clubs that used to make up the core of USA Eagle teams, because Major League Rugby was developed A, for the rich people to own a rugby team, but B, to actually develop rugby in the States. But in the last 2 or 3 seasons, we've seen about 5 teams fold. That can't be healthy for American rugby.
No, there's something going on there, isn't there? They need to sit back and take a hard look at what they're going to do going forward.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Canada lost the Toronto team after the passing of Bill Webb. His family weren't interested in rugby, so they sort of pulled the plug on the financing there. You look at the team, Anthem Rugby, I think it's called. They were developed to be purely American players. It didn't take them long to actually start bringing in overseas players. And after, 2-3 years, they still have not even won a game. Come close a few times, but they haven't won. So is that the next team that's going to get the arse? And if that is the case, then serious questions have got to be answered, because it's backed by USA Rugby. And this is the reason I'm bringing this up, is they hold the World Cup after Australia.
Yeah. I was just thinking about something else. I didn't really catch that. Sorry, mate. But it's going to be interesting going. It's going to be interesting going forward to see what they do.
Yeah. No, but otherwise, as I said, there's plenty of games on this weekend. You going up to Darfield, are you?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be driving one of the club vans because we've got our senior our open grade prize giving this Saturday at 6:30. So a few of the boys want to come. Well, a few of the players obviously want to get back early in time for that, and not hang around up there at Darfield for all the formalities. So I'm going to be bringing back a few southern, or probably a van load of southern players from Darfield. So yeah, I'll be up there watching all three games. So hopefully the weather plays ball and it's not too cold.
Well, don't forget, grab a photo of number 17 because I want to see what's on the back of his jersey. People know what I'm talking about. Who know, they know. But otherwise, that's about us really for the show. As I said, jump on and and have a look at the tipping comp. And if you are watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Any comments, throw it in the bottom. We also want to give a shout out to Rhodey at Rocket FM, who sometimes simulcasts our show. So he's sort of a happy camper, that Canterbury won. I'm amazed I haven't heard more text messages from him. But basically, that's the show for the day. I suppose we'll catch up in the weekend.
Yep. Up the mighty hammers.
And go the mighty Lions. Okay. I'll get you to hang around for a minute after we go off here, and we'll catch us all next week. Thank you all for watching.
No worries. Cheers, mate.